I think that's in the right place. It's so difficult. Hi there, guys. This is a song about domestic abuse. You must excuse me, because I need to move my wheelchair way out of here and press play. What's your excuse this time? Have you got a new one? You think of a good crime, and then you go and do one. You tell me you don't need me. Don't you think I knew that? And then you turn and leave me. Honey, where are you at? You say that you can't wait, that you need some excitement. When you're at the back gate, you start getting violent. You know you're always running, chasing up that rich cat. I can't help but wondering, honey, where are you at? You make out you're hurting, and you're running by me. I think you're uncertain whether you should try. I can't get the picture. Has it come down to that? I just want an answer. Honey, where are you at? Sometimes when you're smiling, you start to amaze me. Then you take your head off. Oh, girl, you drive me crazy. Please don't put my name down and draw me out of your hat. All I need to know is, honey, where are you at? You say it's a standoff, and you'll settle for the draw. Then you kick the band off for seeing what they saw. Why do you act so mean with all your unarmed combat? You think that you're James Dean. Honey, where are you at? Did you see the plane crash? I bet that you caused it, but you got no hard cash, so how can you afford it? Oh, you're so much for survival. Oh, I've already tried that. They'll ask you on arrival, honey, where are you at? You make me embarrassed just to even know you. Like when we went to Paris, and I had to throw you. Oh, your purple champagne, it's already gone flat. Back then you were insane. Now, honey, where are you at? Last week I met your daughter. She's a real good looker, but she's got your hang-ups. Oh, she's a pressure cooker. Don't think that you got her. She never signed the contract. You ain't never offered. So honey, where are you at? You say that you're so sick, tired of the fighting. You ain't getting no kick from anything you're writing. Baby, you're so uptight. You gotta get a new act. If you wanna find out, honey, where are you at? You're still a little girl, but you try to hide it. You've been all around this world, and now you're trapped inside it. I know that you want me to make some kind of contact, but you sit and taunt me, honey, where are you at? I don't get no pleasure from seeing what you're doing. If you got a deal, well, I think it needs renewing. You say that you're gonna quit, but I don't think you'll do that. And nothing seems to quite fit. Honey, where are you at? You could use a good break. Take a little little time off. Oh, your legs start to shake. I think you better climb off. You'll soon be a widow. You better paint your dress black. I bet the preacher asks you, honey, where are you at? Your pistol keeps on firing, but your target's missing. He's down in the cellar. You know who he's kissing. When he comes up from there, I make him lay his cards flat. If he's got the answers, oh honey, where were you at? Don't you think it's quite strange that you're getting younger? Which bits did you get changed? How much has gone under? I think that you're priceless. Oh, when you try to do that, but no one seems to care less. Honey, where are you at?
Hi there. Oh dear, I wish I hadn't shown my face then. That's a song about, that is now a song about domestic abuse. I wrote that maybe 97, I think. I don't know when. It's August, no it's not, it's September. September 2022 as I write this. Abuse comes in many forms. As I sit here in my wheelchair, which I can't get in the view there. Anyway. I don't know what the time is, but it's about an hour ago that Kafkas told me that someone was taking me to court to have my already paltry online visitation, which is just 2 half-hour online visits a week with my children, 8 and 10 years old, who've just been homeless up in Peterborough for months, and no one in the Peterborough authorities who knew about it did anything about it. Because apparently my disability, I'm discussing my disability with them and it's upsetting them. Now, as I've pointed out to the person on the telephone, exactly how am I supposed to hide from my children the fact that I'm in a wheelchair? When my children call me, and their weekly, twice weekly calls, and for over a month I'm in hospital. When I've lost 11 kilos in the space of 3 months, when my eyes look like this, do you not think, Kafkas, that children will go, Daddy, are you not well? You think children don't notice all of a sudden their father can't walk? I just said this to the guy. I don't need to discuss my illness with the children. They call me and I'm in hospital and they're 10 years old. They kind of work out, well, Daddy's been in hospital for a month. He might be ill. Daddy's in a wheelchair. Maybe he's got some problems walking, because only a year ago he was playing football with us and running around. Now he can't stand up without someone else to help him. And how sick and twisted a parent do you have to be, knowing that your ex is dying, to try and stop children who love him so much from seeing him and speaking to him even online? That's domestic abuse, psychological torture of children, and as the courts at the moment, we're still waiting for the final verdict, seem to be favouring her, I would say that is state-sponsored disability prejudice, wouldn't you? Because I think anyone who's disabled in this country, I think the fact that their parent is disabled, in whichever way, shape or form, I'm just talking about my neurological disease here, blindness, ADHD, depression. You don't need to think of the big ones, quadriplegics, paraplegics, etc. You want to look at the big ones there. The minor disabilities. Okay? If I get the flu, my children used to be upset about it. Oh, Daddy, you sneeze, man. Oh, the flu. It's okay, kids. I'll be okay in a couple of days. Oh, Daddy, you're so sick. Oh, Daddy, let me get you a blanket to go. Children, if a parent is ill, they would be upset about it. But for a court to say you cannot discuss your illness with your children, we've just gone through COVID. My children, the first thing they said to me when they saw the dramatic weight loss, you know the beards, you've seen me in videos with this huge big bushy beard, yeah, well, because only one side of my face works. You know, you can see this side here, see, just dead, see, all gone completely. And the reason I'm continually doing that, as everyone points out, I'm trying to do this, is because I'm just trying to stab myself with my fingernail to get some feeling there, just so I know they're still there. I don't know what I was saying there. You know, so one day, oh yeah, so they thought I had COVID. You know, so, Daddy, have you got COVID? That was their big fear, you know, because Daddy suddenly was gaunt and everything like this, you know. I mean, it's just where all the leg muscle, all the muscles just turned away, you know. I've done it. What are you supposed to do? Not answer them? Which do you think upsets them most? You know? Oh, Daddy, why are you on crutches? Because I started off on crutches, then I progressed to walking frame, and now, you know, here I am now. You know, you see me stand up occasionally. As you know, I wear leg splints if you've been following these videos, you know. I've done everything I can, in fact, to protect the children online. I've grown a beard. At night, I would move the camera further and further away, you know, because they call me on the phone, you know, as we talk. And then I've been moving it down so they couldn't see my eyes, you know, because you can't grow a beard over your eyes. It's just a sickness. It's just a sick parent, you know. And what's also amazing at the courts, it's very strange when you see it. I'm sorry, guys. I've been a silent gentleman too long, and I've overlooked too much, actually. Are they within reach of the wheelchair? To hell with it. To hell with it. Let's expose them all. And there's photographs too. They're normally kept here for... I'm so sorry. The ambulance drivers came in and took some photographs away from me the other day. Oh, yeah, yeah, they wanted to... Ah, there you go. Okay, to heck with being a gentleman. Cover. See, can you see how thin that boy is? See, there's nothing left of him. Another one. Look how thin he is. Look. Look at him. Look how thin he is. You scumbag family court. And play count the ribs? It's like his uncle said when he first saw the pictures. All he needs is a tattoo on his arm, the point that his uncle was making. Cover his face up again. The point his uncle was making was he looked like he'd just come from Belsen. Because of my family, I'm allowed to use that word. No details. Sorry, I was trying to find... There was one in here of what that boy looked like when he lived. How fat and chubby, well not fat, he doesn't want to hear that. How chubby and how well fed and how happy that boy was when he lived with the parent that cared for him. Here you go. See that smashed up toe? What's it say on the back there? Oh, it's the dates on it. Oh, that's the dinner. How about that for a plate full of dinner? Huh? That was a boy's food for an entire day. They had no breakfast, no school dinner. That was it for a day. 31st of October 2020. Do you want to know the thing about that toe there? That toe injury there? There is a follow-up photograph. Three days later, the dried blood hadn't even been washed off. I showed that to the court. Can I cover the face up? What's the date on that? How's that for a bruise? Huh? Come back at me, Peterborough Family Court. Come back at me. How's that for another bruise? You can see my finger pointing to it. Sorry, a cut. Contusion. Huh? The ambulance drivers took some of these on because they were rather concerned. That's right there. That's the leg one, that's the toe one. There's one of his swollen lip. And I said this to the judge. How does? Because I was told, oh, I expect to see bruises on it. I mean, that's not a bruise. You hit someone with a lump hammer and they leave less of a bruise than that. There's another one. I said, okay then, explain to me this. How's a 7-year-old boy going downstairs to get his dinner and come back 15 minutes later with a swollen lip? When the only people in the house are his 6-year-old sister, his female parent, and her thug of a boyfriend. Anyway, so that if I don't know how this is going to play out, but if we've come to a state in this country now, because it can be argued on the grounds of reasonable probability, if you want to go the legal parlance, that any parent with any kind of injury, let alone a disability, but any kind of injury, is going to upset their children slightly, and it can be reasonably assumed that 9 and 7, 8 and 10, as they get older, you know, they're not known for their social conventions. The first words out of their lips tend to be, well, what's happened to you then, Daddy? You know, or you, Mummy, you know, Mummy, why are you limping? You know, Mummy, why's this happen? You know, I mean, never mind about now that they've gone. How many times did I have to say, when I was, Daddy, why have you got that bump on your head? Oh, well, you know, never mind, let's just talk about something else. Oh, and Daddy, why is there a great big huge candle there that looks as though it's hit something because it's got one impacted side? No, let's not talk about that, you know. Daddy, why do you always have to sleep on the sofa? Hard questions to answer, but if we've really come to a state in this country now where the disabled are going to be an open target, where if they're sadistic acts, I can only make so many allowances for her mental illness. I really can. I've been a silent gentleman too much. This morning just broke me, guys, you know. Yeah, I mean, it was there in the songs and everything. That's how I get it out, and I would cover it and everything, but I've never been direct like this before. You know, you can't imagine what I've suffered in this last 5-6 years. You cannot imagine. If we've come to the state in this country where the disabled is such an easy target that the courts say, you're disabled, that is upsetting your children, so you will never see them again, they will never visit you again, and you will not talk to them online again. And if you do, you'll go to jail, which is what I've been threatened with this morning. If that's what we've come to in this country, then we may as well just start tearing down the walls of society now and rebuilding. We may as well start tearing down Parliament, figuratively, not literally, and tearing down council offices. We may as well just go around the MP's offices and just kindly say, pack your bags, take your photos off the desk and get out. And we'll take the keys and lock the door. No one needs to be hurt, but they just don't need to be in there, because if that's what we've come to, because this is what the Nazis did in the 30s. And the social services, and let's not forget how many children the social services have let down, where one parent has said, look, I'm reporting constant injuries, I'm reporting hunger, I'm reporting emaciation, I'm reporting months off of school and no questions being asked. I'm phoning the police and saying I've just had a phone call from my 8-year-old saying they're alone, they've been locked in the house, they don't know when mummy's coming back, and they've had nothing to eat all day because they were late running into school and they didn't get any breakfast. And why didn't you eat at school? Oh, it was a ham sandwich. I don't like ham, Daddy. Well, you've got to eat something. What's in the house? And they show you, and there's just a packet of beef. I won't mention the brand of crisps. Check the record. It's all there. A, I filmed the conversation when I made the call, and B, I'm quite certain that Peterborough Police Force. We're going to go around and look at it tomorrow. So that was on the Monday I made the call, Monday evening. It lasted from 9:15 till 10:20, I think. And because I stayed on the line with these two children until someone condescended to come home at 9:15, and then I got off the phone quick so they didn't get a good beating talking to their daddy. Not there is a good beating, but you know, I didn't mean it good in that sense. Oops. My wheelchair's breaking here. This wheelchair needs its own wheelchair. We'll go around tomorrow when they come home from school and we'll find out what's going on. Whether Peterborough Police actually did go around and find out what's going on, I don't know, but I had the same phone call on Wednesday. We're alone in the house again Wednesday night. And maybe it won't come off his computer game and cook dinner. Well, how can he cook dinner? 9 years old. Oh, well, it's been left out all day. He's got to heat it up in the microwave for me and he won't. So I've had nothing to eat all day. What have you got? Maybe I can help you. Salami. Blistering hot day. Blistering hot day. So that might explain, and that's going to be, so it's been left out for you since 2 o'clock this afternoon. And now you're going to reheat it. And no wonder you're off sick with salmonella so often. So there you go. I didn't intend to do this speech, I just wanted to play the song and make a slight point. It's a good song, a really good song. I sang it well as well. I've only heard this yesterday for the first time in 24 years. I remember writing it, and 96 or 97, you know. So, but it's amazing how your own words can come back and have a resonance with you, you know. Somewhere down the line. Someone has to protect children in this country, and someone has to protect fathers as well as mothers, and someone has to protect disabled in this country, and none of it is happening. Society just fragmenting. I don't know what we've become and what we're becoming. Internet sound bites and everything, but we're losing sight of the big picture, really. I'm too old and I'm too ill to do anything about it. But if the new generation out there coming out, you know, and thankfully in this day and age, you know, domestic violence against men, mental cruelty against men, you know, some stuff I can't tell you. Oh my God. The words, the deeds, I could never tell you. There'd be lynch mobs. I could never put it out there. But it might be hidden in the lyrics of some of my songbooks and stuff. But it might not be. I've just played you a song called Honey, Where Are You At? Something quite a jaunty little voice as well. Sometimes you could sweet talk the message a little bit, you know.